If someone would have told me when I was studying here in 1986 that I would be on the stage in the eastern part of Berlin talking about my entrepreneurship journey, I would have laughed my head off. But here I am. So yeah, 86 I was here a student. Then I went to London. I was the tech, at the time, tech scene of Europe, early 90s. The world was opening. Tech was the games industry and the PDA, some of you might remember. And we're starting with 4 people, 3 guys and me in Holland 25 years ago. We started as a software developer, and very quickly, in sort of mid-95s, we decided to make navigation for PDAs, still a company of about 20 people. And in 2004, we decided to launch the first personal navigation device. Today, we've sold 80 million. We were a company of 35 people in 2004, and we went from 42 million turnover to 1.8 billion in 5 years. We were selling 1 million products a year, 1 million products a month, 1 billion products a week, and 1 million P&D in one day in the US on Black Friday in 2008. The company was just booming. 2005, we go public. We were bootstrapped until then. There was the old-fashioned days where, you had to sell product and make money to go to the market. And I know that's changed now, but and anyway, so we go public in 2005. We're in the middle of this growth, and kind of the world is our oyster. And then 2008 happened. The crisis, the economic crisis. Oh yes, and we've sold 80 million products, so we have a level of penetration and maturity. About 30 to 40% of car holders have got a navigation device. And we just bought our map maker, Teleatlas, for $4 billion. And we have to integrate the 2 companies. So we are about 2,500. We buy a company of 3,000 people. We have to integrate the 2 culture. Oh yeah, and I forgot. Google decides to release navigation for free on telephones. The perfect storm. So hey, you say 2008 and 2017, and you're still here, and you seem to be smiling. Yeah, I am. And yes, because kind of we weathered that storm. So how did we do that? Well, first of all, because of our kind of experience in consumer electronics, we kind of knew that if it's too good to be true, at some point, it's just not going to be, it's not going to go forever. So we knew that as the P&D business was growing dramatically, we needed to also think about the future. We needed to diversify. We needed to have a vision. And our vision at the time was, well, we do navigation, so wouldn't it be really cool if we knew everything about the road? We knew the map, the road, exactly what was happening. And if we could update that road in real time, that would be brilliant, no? We'll get feedback from our drivers, and we put that on the map, and we can broadcast that in real time, so we can actually navigate perfectly. And traffic information as well would be fantastic if you know exactly what traffic you had on the road, so you can recommend the best route. Anyway, you get the gist. We start investing heavily into technology. So we go on a big acquisition spree. We buy Teleatlas, we buy a traffic company, we buy a telematics company actually from Leipzig. Traffic is actually also developed here in Berlin. And we have this vision of knowing the route in real time. At that time, some of our competitors are still concentrating on hardware. We have an American competitor that's still making hardware, and that's the thing they do. We have also competitors like here that makes technology. Well, we're kind of a little bit different. We're a technology company with a consumer brand, and we've diversified. And if I look today at what we're going to do in the next 25 years, because that's actually much more interesting what we've done the last 25 years, we are embarking on being a big technology provider for autonomous driving. We actually bought a company in Berlin last year called Autonomous, looking at computer vision to map the whole world in high definition. high definition mapping, which is going to be necessary for autonomous driving. So if you look at the last 25 years, we built up this company, we had this big kind of crash storm, and now we're looking at the next 25 years with a bit of serenity about the technology assets that we have. So how did we do it? People often ask me, so why do you think, and what was it that made you weather that storm, rebound, and look forward? I think, first of all, it's a vision. I think, and most of you, I hope there are a lot of entrepreneurs in the room. I think what's always driven us is that vision. We wanted to kind of give our customers the best navigation, the best routing, the best driving experience. And that meant we needed to be vertically integrated. We needed to know everything, understand what was happening on that road, what would be traffic information, of accidents or calamities or whatever. We wanted to be able to guide our customers the best way possible. And that's always been the driver for us. And that vision has actually not gone away, and that's been a filter for everything we've done. The other thing is having a good team. You can never underestimate how important the team is when you build a technology business. So at that team of 4 founders, we still run the business today. Luckily, we're also still in control. Even so the company is listed on the Amsterdam Stock Exchange, the 4 of us still have a majority of the shares. So we're also in charge of our own destiny, and that's helped us to take the big gamble, if you want, the big risk that to underline that vision that we wanted, that we have for the future. The other thing was the culture. It's very important. Actually, people often ask me, you look back and it must be great. I say, well, in every moment of an entrepreneur's life, it's hard. When you're small, it's hard. When you scale, it's really hard. When you go through the bumpers, it's harder. When you go down, it's hard. When you regrow, it's always hard. But what's important is to keep that culture, because that culture and the people you work with is actually what makes it worthwhile. And what I like, today we're a company of 5,000 people. We turn over about $1 billion, just over. We're in 35 countries. Is wherever I go, we've managed to keep that entrepreneurial culture. And I think that's key to who we are today. We attract interesting people, we have intellectually challenging jobs, and we work with a bunch of guys who share that vision with us. And I think that's very important. And the other thing is we've been extremely perseverant and very resilient. I think as an entrepreneur, it's like life in general. It goes in waves, and I think that resilience and that perseverance and that vision is what takes you through the good times and the bad times. So if I look back and people ask me, so what is success for you? Well, first of all, why are you doing what you're doing? What makes you get up in the morning? Well, first of all, it's an immense sense of pride that we've made a product that helps people's life. When our products, the P&D from TomTom, is voted as one of the biggest tech inventions of the century, it makes me proud. When I get letters from people saying, you saved my marriage, we're not arguing in the car anymore, it makes me proud. When I have the old lady saying, I get back in my car because I'm not worried about getting lost, it makes me proud. So we made products that changed people's life in a way, in a little way, in our own way. And we will do it again because autonomous driving and being a facilitator for that will have a huge impact on our lives. It will change things beyond recognition in urban mobility, the way we move with city, and will be, again, a big player there. So that's one measure for me. The other thing that I'm super happy about is we've been a fantastic school. I think as an entrepreneur, when you set up a company, there's nothing that makes me happier to see people who've gone through our company and have gone on to do great stuff, set up company themselves, go and work for the big entrepreneurs in Europe, Zalando, Coolblue, Booking. I see all those companies, some are bigger than us today, and they tell me, you've trained your people very well. We've managed to nurture that entrepreneurial culture and delivered those people with the education and the mindset to go and do something themselves. And that's also a great sense of joy and pride for me. And very simply, is to go and work with people who share the dream and the passion and want to, make a little bit of difference. And that's what motivates me to keep on going and go to greater things, even when, you've got to weather some major storm. So I think that's, in a very small nutshell, because we've got 5 minutes for question, a little bit of the TomTom entrepreneurial journey. And I know all of you think, TomTom, what do they do? It's the P&D of my parents, or if you're my age, your P&D. But again, what's interesting is what's lay ahead. And in the next 25 years, you will hear from us with a lot of great technologies. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Corinne. If you don't mind, we're going to have, could you put up thank you. We have 1 or 2 questions for you, right?
Yeah.
So how did you deal or compete with Google when they started working with maps?
So Google started building the map on Teleatlas maps. So they were actually the same kind. Well, Google, do you know the big difference between Google, Waze, and us? They're free. That's a big difference. So how do you compete? Well, you give something different. I mean, Google, you find it on your phone. We license our data and our traffic information to the automotive industry. If you have an Apple phone, look at the information. You can see the map is powered by TomTom. So we license to a lot of big tech companies everywhere on the automotive side. We have a telematic company. So we've completely diversified the business. So we don't compete with Google head-on. But we provide map information, traffic information, guidance, routing to the automotive industry and to cities and governments that look using that for urban mobility. So that's the way we compete. But we're not. Our business is not an advertising model. So we also sell the P&Ds and some customers. We still sell about 3 million P&Ds per year. So it's customers that prefer to have a dedicated device, a dedicated form factor.
Thank you. How do the TomTom action cams help in your vision?
It doesn't.
Okay. Quick and easy. Let's do the next one. Who do you consider competition for TomTom, and how do you differentiate your brand?
Okay, so I think if you look at the competitors in our space, I think so you got Google on one side, and you've got here, based here as well, no pun intended. So we are in that space similar in terms of technology and provider to the automotive industry, but we have a big consumer brand. If you go in the street and ask who TomTom is, then people will know. It's not the case of our competitor on the technology side. On the P&D side, if you look at Garmin, for example, it's very much a company that does manufacturing of hardware, but they don't have the technology. They actually license their mapping and their traffic. The difference between us is we have got a big, strong consumer brand, and we are vertically integrated. So we own and the map, and the real-time maps, and the traffic information. So we have, out of our 5,000 people, we probably have about 3,000 engineers. So we're a big technology company, which most people actually don't know, with a consumer brand. And it's a lot we can do with that. And if you look at the quality of our product, we're a few years ahead of competition in the quality of the mapping, and we are the biggest provider of traffic information. So that's the quality of the product is also very good.
Thank you. Corinne, let's do one more. Is TomTom going to keep launching new GPS devices, or shape itself as a back-end mapping device and let mobile phones be used as primary routing devices?
Yeah, I think it's a very good question. I think we do both, actually. So you have a number of people who prefer to have a dedicated device, so we will carry on catering to that audience, and we keep on innovating. We just bought product with Wi-Fi to make it very simple to update the maps and have really current information. But at the same time, I think that's right to let customers use our navigation engine and our traffic information on their telephone. So we will have both solutions.
Let's do one more, very popular. What role will TomTom play in autonomous driving?
Yeah, so that's the big thing. So the role we will play is the mapping role. So we will be, we're working on a high definition map. So we have got the largest number of roads that are defined. High definition means we can place a car within 5 centimeters on the road. And you're asking why is that important for autonomous? Well, you actually need to know exactly where the cars are. And so this is, we're going to play, the role we're going to play is one of a technology provider of real-time real-time mapping, where you get information in real time and we broadcast it. And we're using a lot of artificial intelligence as well and sensor data to put that car exactly where it needs to be on the road. So that's mainly TomTom's role in that space.
Corinne, thank you so much. Please,
thank you.
Big round of applause.